I'm ready.
Yeah.
Count us down.
Everything's recording.
We're here.
Look,
Okay.
count us so we can start.
3, 2, 1, action.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, Lisa.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and it's weird because we're sitting side by side.
This is strange.
And you
We're
do
gonna
have
get-
very little eyes. I
Thank
just noticed it now.
And you were very pretty.
Oh, thank
That's. We went
We
for
can
breakfast.
cut that out.
We
went
met
to
for breakfast this morning, and our waitress was like, "Oh, you're very pretty," and then she's, "Oh, your eyes are so blue."
Oh, your eyes are pretty green. And I'm like, you're going to get such a big tip. I'm not even joking. She did.
Okay, that's not going to work for me. That's going to have to. Okay.
Is that intro?
No, the fan.
Okay, yeah. Put the fan away. I thought you were talking about the intro. I was like,
No,
oh,
intro's good. Intro's
Okay.
good. Okay, so Maria,
Yes, Lisa.
you have introduced me to many wonderful women. And this, I'm going to say this is one of my favorites.
Oh.
And I'm going to let you introduce her. But I think her story is interesting. I think her business is interesting. And I think it's really necessary. So I'm excited to hear.
You know, I met my friend and guest today, Leonela, through a group of women, and we just hit it off. And she's one of those individuals that is always smiling, very positive energy. I just absolutely love her. So, Leonela, welcome to the Diversity Duo. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure too. And I love the introduction, how you say about me, because it's an honor to be here, really. It's just thank you.
That's lovely. That's lovely. See, that's what I'm talking
Yes.
about. Exactly what I'm talking about. So, Leonela, do you want to... we can cut out this.
You know, we don't know how to do this sitting next to each other. It's
I
really.
know, it's your energies that make me crazy.
Do you wanna start the questions?
Yes. So, Leonela, please tell us a little bit about yourself, your full name. I love your full name, Leonela Gonzalez-Fogarty.
Yes.
I love your name. So tell us about your background. Tell us about what you do. Tell us a little bit how being in Massachusetts has been such a, how will I put it, an adventure for you.
Yeah, well, my name is Leonela Gonzalez-Fogarty. I'm originally from Venezuela. And I am also an American. And I say that I am an American with a Bostonian heart, because I first came to Boston when I was 27 years old.
Wow.
I'm an educator, and I came to Boston to learn about computers and technology, and the whole experience, learning about computer and technology, learning English as an adult, and also discovering the world of languages in Massachusetts changed my life. So that's why Boston has a special place for me. And I came here with a big dream to learn about computers and also learn English. I don't know if you guys know or remember, but in 1997, in Venezuela, what we heard was the year 2000 is coming and the computers are going to explode.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So that's what I heard. And in Venezuela, we were so behind computers and all that. And I thought a teacher without English and without computer is going to be out of the world. So I said, I'm going to find a way to learn English and to teach, to learn about computers. So I was teaching at the university at that time, and I saw a flyer in the university. I was a teacher there that says, looking for teachers to learn about computers. And I had like a call, and I said, this is for me. A year later, I was in that program, but first I needed to learn English, which was my little challenge that I thought was going to be easier. I thought that in 4 months I was going to be ready, and that changed. So I don't know. And my name is Leonela Gonzalez-Fogarty because I have 2 stages, let's say 2 moments with Massachusetts. I came here the first time when I was 27 years old. I learned about computers, I learned about languages, then I ended up becoming a language teacher because I taught in Framingham Public Schools in a 2-way program. And I stayed for 6.5 years learning about computers, teaching, and Massachusetts helped me to learn more about diversity, to value every human being from no matter where they're from. With that in my heart, I went back to Venezuela. I needed to teach and came back again in 2015 with the idea to teach adults English in a different way. And when I came here with the idea to do my business, I was still single. And I didn't have in my plans to find someone. I wanted to find someone, but I didn't know. And I ended up meeting my husband, and his name is Kevin Fogarty. And I said, well, I'm getting married at this adult age. I cannot get rid of my Gonzalez because this is like 45 years of my life. So I said, well, I am going to honor to say Gonzalez-Fogarty. And that's why I make an effort to introduce myself, Gonzalez-Fogarty, because the Fogarty shows my part of curiosity, adventure, and I think I love it.
That's really good.
Hi, Mr. Fogarty.
So you talked a little bit about your company. Why don't you introduce what's the name of your company and what's the mission of your organization?
Yeah, my company is called English for Life. We want to guide Latinos, professionals, entrepreneurs to overcome the fear to speak in English so they can be themselves in English. I think when we learn English as adults, it's such a different experience and it's a challenging experience that we forget who we are because we are so concentrated that we have to have the perfect language, we have to have the perfect pronunciation, and we want to make sure that people connect with who they are first and acknowledge that and understand that acquiring the language is a process. That's why we can do it. It can be done faster if we can connect within a strategy. That is what we have created based on more than 20 years of experience teaching kids, adults, learning about languages and learning about humans, how we learn and how we better acquire or learn the language.
That's great. So I'm going to ask a question about, because you came and learned English kind of late in life.
Yeah.
I came to the United States when I was 14. And
Can we correct that? You're born in Puerto Rico.
Yes. I came to Massachusetts. We're going to cut this.
No, we're not.
I came to Massachusetts when I was 14. And it took me, I'm going to say, about 10 years to feel comfortable enough, my brain comfortable enough to whenever I heard something in English, I was able to reply immediately because I was not translating from Spanish into English. So do you do that or you have stopped doing that now?
I have stopped doing that. And
Can I get clarity because I only speak English?
yeah.
Okay.
So you're both going to talk about you heard words in English, and when you first started speaking English, you would pause, you would take the English words, convert them to Spanish, convert them back into English, your response back into English, to then say,
to answer whatever question. And that happened in a nanosecond. I want you to know that.
That's crazy.
But that's what most bilingual, trilingual, any person that speaks more than one language, when they're learning, not the original language, the second language, that's what happened.
Yeah. And this is what I was curious about. It happened to me too. And there are many myths about learning and acquiring a second language. And when I learned when I was 27, I thought that I speak English because when I came here from Venezuela, I'm a very good student and I am a go-getter?
Yeah.
So I said, in 1 month, I'm going to, I was in Venezuela. Remember, the English that I had was 5 years of high school. That I have heard with a lot of people. I took Spanish in high school. I cannot talk. We have the same experience. Okay.
Yeah.
So I came here, but before I came here, I did 2 intense month program because my dad says maybe you don't want to be too, like 2-0. Yeah, and I was going to be in a master program.
Right.
Imagine you are going to be speaking about what you know about education.
Yeah.
So I studied 2 months, very intense. And when I asked the language program, how many months more do I need to be ready in the program? That's a hard question because a lot of people tell you say it took you 10 years, It's hard to say, but at least you need 1 year, 1 to 3 years to start hearing the language. What happened in my case is I said, okay, they told me 4 months, you're ready. So that's bad because I came here with the idea that I already knew English.
Right.
And I went consciously to Colorado to immerse myself, to not talk to Spanish people. Because someone that learned, my godmother who studied English as an adult told me, you need to immerse and push yourself to talk in English because when you're 27, it's different than when you're 14.
Absolutely.
You have to get out of your comfort zone because you were talking in English in the school. And in our cases, we have to learn in the language program. When I did that, I was getting 100 plus, A+ in my classes. And for 4 months, I was dedicated from 9 to 3. Everything was good, like in a traditional way. But I noticed that I was still nervous to speak.
Yep.
So I said, I'm going to go to McDonald's so I can test if I really can speak. And when I went to McDonald's, after 4 months of fully immersion, what I thought, I am waiting in line, still nervous. And I say, oh my God, why am I so nervous if I haven't studied for so long?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I order my combo. They understood me. And then they say, for here or to go. Holy cow. In what Maria says, in seconds, the brain is a computer.
Yep.
Every brain, and I studied that when I became a linguist. We have a little chip that does the language calculations, So the Spanish computer is like, I can only hear words. Here go. And then in the meantime is, what does it mean, here go in McDonald's?
Right.
So you hear two
now you need
words.
context.
There is no, so you as an adult, you're trying to guess the context because but I could not put it together in seconds.
Right.
But the guy is waiting for your reply. So I say, no, I'm from Venezuela. Because I thought he was asking me, are you from here, from somewhere?
Right.
So that day, I started, since I'm very curious learner and teacher, I say, this is not working. I have to do something different. And when I ask in the language program, what can I do? They say, start talking to people. So I went even out of my comfort zone, found Americans that were open to do language exchange, Spanish to English, and I started to talk. For the next 4 months, I became an assistant in the language program, so I immersed myself in speaking. And that's how the confident piece that you say, Maria, it took you 10 years to feel comfortable. I have created a methodology that helps you to get confident faster because we focus on overcoming the fear faster.
Do you have a sense of where the fear comes from?
Yeah. First, we don't want to feel embarrassed. You are a professional. I mean, how can you? And I have been in meetings like, oh my God, I don't want to talk. And it took me, Maria said 10 years, I learned English and then I was here working and then I came back to Venezuela. I was teaching and I was teaching in an American school. And that job made me to immerse more in the American kind of a culture environment. And I was getting more confidence. my confidence really got to the next level when I was teaching at Tau University, and I was able to create a program to help the Chinese students who are very afraid to speak here, because they start connecting to people through a volunteer program that I created.
Yes.
So the idea of the shame comes from, we don't want to feel judged, we don't want to sound terrible. We feel like people don't understand us, so then they hear us back. They ask us, and then we feel ashamed.
Yes.
But we don't think that when we're kids, it's how we learn the language. It's by, if you don't talk, the brain will not hear the language.
Reinforcement.
That connection.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to just tell a quick story. I think I shared with you, Maria. So I teach at Northeastern, and I had a student who, it's international student. He's from China, and we were at about the halfway mark, and he hadn't spoken. And finally, I had to keep him out, and I said, "Listen, I don't know how to pass you if I don't even know what your voice sounds like. We're having a problem here."
Yeah.
So, I said, "Is it that do you understand when I speak? Okay. Is your fear that you think I'm not going to understand you?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "My job is to hear you and the words you say and your intent in saying them. And I don't know." And I don't mean to make this a cultural thing, not an anti-American statement. And before I say that, I actually think this is a Bostonian thing too, because we're quick talkers and right, and we just, But I think understanding that what you say to me, I own the responsibility to understand and hear your clean message, and that means I need to listen harder. And I need to listen through accents. And I'm going to say this is all accents, right? Somebody from New York, I'm sorry. I don't know, New Bedford here in Boston. What are you all even saying? Right? No, right. I'm joking. But I do believe the ownership of listening to the words belongs to the listener as a part of this. And,
absolutely.
Right? I mean, we talk a lot about that.
That's communication, right there, communication.
I want to say that the ownership goes both ways.
Well, yes. I mean, you have to start with intent. Yes.
You definitely, we are in a country, in a world full of accents, So it's not about the accent. It's like, let me try to understand the other person in front of me.
Right.
And see what we connect, or what is she or he saying, So, and as a speaker, I also need to work on, the things that I have in my mind. No, they're not going to understand. I understand, because I think it happened when you are learning Spanish too. I mean, it goes, whatever second language you are speaking, we feel the fear.
Right.
If we own it and we focus on, okay, I have the opportunity to talk to someone, that has a different experience of life. Let's figure it out. When you have that mindset, you start connecting and you find like a common ground without judging.
Right.
So the fears start going down. But if I am, okay, yeah, Maria, what you're saying? What, like, ta. I still have to practice.
Yes.
But this is a fact. When we learn a second language, after we're 14 or 16, our brain, our muscle, a phonetic, muscle that imitates the sounds, it's already mature.
Right.
Yes.
So that's what Maria was saying. You hear the other with the Spanish.
Yeah.
Right.
Or whatever is your first language.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you are trying to decode, and we have to understand that as you immerse more, you hear more the language, and you start hearing how to say sounds.
Now I find it interesting that I hear people talking Spanish and immediately I hear it in English. But I've been here 47 years. So now when people are talking to me in Spanish, I'm translating it so furiously, and then the words flow out in Spanish. Before, between 14 and 24, it was okay, Spanish, translate back, speak, right? Now it's just a seamless process.
In both hearing both languages?
Yes, in both
and
languages.
speaking both languages.
In both languages.
They come out
it's
in
like
the same way.
Nothing. Yes, yes.
Interesting.
Yes, it is.
So we were at a party one time, and I don't know if you remember the Christmas time party. I don't remember where we were. And Valerie's. Thank you, Valerie. And we met that interesting woman, and we were talking about language, and she said, "Well, which do you pray in?"
Yes.
And I thought, "Oh, that's like in that split second, or when you're in your most intimate thought process.
What language?
What language are you speaking in?"
Now, mine is Spanish. I still, even all these years, I only pray in Spanish.
Yeah, I will say they have a mix, because I know how hard it is as adults to hear the language. So when you say that if I'm still translating, when I first learned the first 6.5 years, I was discovering the language, so I pushed myself and immersed myself in English. When I went back to Venezuela and I stayed there for 10 years, I had the opportunity to teach at the American school, and I was always finding opportunities to talk. And then I had the opportunity to do another master. I say, I'm going to do it because you challenge yourself to speak more in English, And then when I came here this second time with the idea to develop the business and create the business, it's been another language because I was an educator, but now I'm a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
So the business language is another language, it's another context. And then I am married to an American. So I have an immersion, and I consciously listen to podcasts related to topics that I want to understand more, or things that I'm very, passionate about, to understand how the Boston is. So there are things that you can choose
She didn't mention
to do.
diversity too well. Sorry.
Yes,
We live in that.
And that diversity duo is one of my favorites.
Thank you.
And I think people need to understand that if you are translating, that means that you are getting ready to the next step. Sometimes we think, translating is bad. No, we have language stages. If you hear at the beginning, like I was in McDonald's, I could hear only words.
Right.
That's your first stage, If you start hearing words, and then you start translating, okay, I'm understanding more in context. So it is a progress. It is a process.
Yes.
And every stage of language acquisition and learning is important for us to be aware. It's just an indicator that you are getting to the next level.
So that's really interesting. So we just did our first all Spanish podcast last week.
Oh,
And it was fascinating. It was really interesting. And I had purchased but can't find my headphones that translate. And I thought, I don't need them. And we did the whole interview, and it was difficult. I'm not going to pretend it wasn't difficult, but I had very few times that I was completely lost, because it's really a matter of just connecting the very limited Spanish that I know, looking for the context clues to bring the story together. And it was also interesting, and I love these kind of cultural moments where you get to be a minority in the position, right? I like to go into places where I am very clearly, whether everyone's straight, whether everyone's of a different color, or whatever the culture. And this was that opportunity for me. It's an opportunity, you lived with when you first came to Massachusetts, is everybody speaking English. And it is an overwhelming, what's being said, like, Am I fast enough to stay up on it? It was hard.
It is hard.
It was really, really hard. And the few times that I was really kind of thrown were interesting times. And it immediately, I internalized it and I went into, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, this is too much. And it was over limited words that I would get lost. And I thought it was really interesting, but it was a great experience for me to be able to sit in the room and hear and supposedly be a part of a full, not supposedly, I didn't mean that in a negative way, but to be a part of a conversation that wasn't in my language.
And when do you notice that you check out?
As soon as, I can't believe I missed that word. And it was a silly word that I got lost on, and I got consumed in my head over one word that was virtually meaningless to the story. Had I stayed with it, I would have been fine in understanding. But I mean, it was good enough that I was able to ask some questions relatively on point of what was being talked about. But yeah, I as soon as I didn't know one thing, it was, oh my God, I can't do this. Why did I say yes so we could do this? Like, it was
I know it's an effort because the brain, it's looking in, where's the Spanish you have?
Yeah.
Okay. And one advantage that we have as adults is that in that moment, when you get caught in one word, we need to train the brain that at the beginning, it's okay not to understand everything. But we are so trained that we need to understand everything.
Yeah.
Now we have to be realistic. It was your first, you consciously say, okay, let's do this in Spanish and let me enjoy and see how much I have.
Yeah.
If people want to continue really with their, Spanish or English journey as a second language, the next step is start listening more to English or Spanish about anything that you are interested in.
Okay.
Because as adults, we already know the world.
Right.
So you kind of the brain start kind of like make connections. It's a whole process. And if you connect with the language a little bit, every day, I like to pray. Let me start praying in Spanish and see what is that. It's how people start unlocking a little bit the Spanish or English that we may have.
Right.
And then the mindset, we have to be in control. I don't know if that, and that's one of the things that we work from the beginning. It's okay if you don't understand everything. It's okay to ask questions. And it's okay to just be, and then at the end say, okay, today with this conversation, I understood 10%. Okay, let me see how much do I understand the next time. So, yeah.
So, Leonela, you have a company called English for Life. Tell me a little bit what the company does, what are your services, and how do you measure the success of your students?
Yeah. So what we do is we guide you to the process of communicate and overcome the fear in real life conversations.
Okay.
Because all my years studying and when I taught kids in Framingham in a two-way program, I realized why kids speak so fast and how do they pick it up so fast than us. And I understood that the brain, after studying that, really does the immersion. It's not us. We think that as an adult, we learn the language and then we speak. It's the other way. So we do real life conversations because we need to get comfortable from day one. That's a way to do it. So we get you, okay, what do you want to, and we connect you, we help you first connect to what you want. And all what we want is have a conversation with a native speaker, with an English native speaker. Because they say, I have an accent, it's a fact, it's gonna be until the day I die. It's getting better, because talking to my husband and hearing a language all the time, it's okay. However, people say, I get used to your accent, but when I talk to your husband, I cannot understand you. understand him.
Can I throw in a question? Is the intention to have no accent? And if no one's void of an accent, what's the accent you're pursuing? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to talk about my experience, Venezuelan, growing up in Venezuela. There is this idea when I was growing up that you want to sound like an American, because that's the influence that we have. So people used to make fun of us. We make fun of each other if we don't sound, like American. So a lot of people come say, I want to sound like an American or as a native. So we have in the back of our head that we want to sound, like that. Or because depends where you're coming from.
Right.
When I taught in Ireland and I did a training there, I realized, oh my God, this is another accent. And then when I was teaching in international school, I have a friend from New Zealand. I say, I don't even understand her. So I say, accent is, now when I was in Europe, I didn't feel that anybody feel bad about their accent. That was my experience. But here in Latin America, it's different. In Venezuela, you don't want to have accent. You want to sound
But can I interject? Because in the United States, from coast to coast, there's so many different accents.
Yeah, that's what I say. We have to start midifying the accent
Yes.
as we embrace it. Now, it takes time.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
And we will not get rid of the accent, of the idea of the accent, until we don't connect with people and use it and work with people. You know what?
As a separator?
No, for example, as a professional, as a human being. My connection with the United States has been, I am an educator. I want to learn about computers. So I discover and I talk to people.
Yeah.
I have friends in Connecticut. Then I went to Framingham and I say, yes, I'm an educator. I have ideas I can bring.
Right.
So, and then I'm a business owner. I have an idea. So what I'm saying is being ourselves and connecting with others where we see, I am a professional. I can add something here. Or I have an experience like I can create this business. So when we own that, like who we are, what experience do we bring to the job we're doing?
Yeah.
In that sense, we can embrace better the accent. And of course, we can have friends like I have had, when I was teaching at Tufts University, a close friend, hey, I don't remember how to pronounce this. When we're in the meetings, I didn't get this part. Can you help me? Yeah, because we're still learning, So that part of the accent, I think, is going to go away when we at first acknowledge that we all have accents.
Yeah.
It happened in any culture, in every language. It's the same in Venezuela. And we are more than the accent.
Right.
We are a person, a whole human being with experiences, value experiences that if you bring it to the table, people will see, wow, Lisa has a great idea that I haven't thought about it, or Maria. And that's what I think. Here in Massachusetts, I learned to value every person as a unique person. And that's what I say. So going back to the question that you say about the business, we help you to embrace that, overcome the fear, the accent. You start talking from day one, and then progressively you have 4 weeks where you test the immersion program, because our methodology is different. I wish that when I studied 27 years ago, I would have had someone that told me from the beginning, even though they told me, but they walk with me, talk, don't worry.
Yeah.
Talk, don't worry. Don't wait 4 months to talk.
Right. Can you give us an overview of the methodology?
Yes. So we have 3 pillars. The first one is you want to connect with something that you really want. And that, as adults, we can do it. When I decided I want to learn about computers, I have no idea how I was going to do it. The universe start open the doors. I have no money. You have no idea. But when you have the intention and something that is meaningful for you. In my career as an educator, I saw this was important. And I have seen with all the other students, I have a doctor who said, I want to be able to speak about my research program or process in the conferences, so you have to connect to what you want.
Okay.
And it has to be big enough that you're not going to give up until you get to the end. Because the tendency to give up, it's challenging, and it's going to be there. That doesn't mean that it's going to be in the process. However, it's easier to overcome and say, I could visualize myself in a language, in a master program talking about education, okay? Right. And when you connect about what you want, you also recognize your strength. Because this is very important. Nobody realized I'm already a human being. So when I decided to study, I am a good student. I know that I can get study done. And also I was a triathlete at that time, so I can get, I can do things, I overcome, obstacles. So that you have to identify what are your strengths. Then we go to the immersion, which is our second pillar. You need to start paying attention when people talk. Like I noticed, for example, when Maria says something in Spanish in the morning, now you're already picking up. The first thing that you can do is start paying attention when people are talking the language that you want to speak. And now in the world, we have more opportunities to hear other languages. Right. So in Massachusetts, we're hearing more Spanish. So that's a beautiful opportunity. So pay attention, start immersing yourself, connecting with the language, with things you like. Things like watch a TV program that you like and find your way. We help you to find a strategy that works for you. Now, it has to be listening. People tend to say, no, I want to read. No, one of the main problems that we have, and that's happened to me, is that people talk and you don't understand. Mm-hmm. And it's not that we speak fast. That's how we speak. No, it's not. We all speak that way. It's like we have the idea that people speak fast because we don't know the language. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I mean,
but Puerto Ricans are known for speaking very, very fast.
Yes.
And I will say that when we are talking and you're with people that you want me to understand parts of the conversation and it's going to be held in Spanish, you're very intentional.
I am intentional.
You're
like
intentional.
when you and I, the three of us were in Northeastern, you and I were talking Spanish and we were very slow. We were not fast. She understood pretty much everything we were talking about.
Yeah. It's when it's out of context. Mm-hmm. Like if you two met and you started to talk about, an adventure that you went on together. Yeah. I have no idea. I don't know how to put some clues together.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm going to go, I'm going to let Maria talk and I'll...
That's why in the immersion, you have to be very intentional. You want to say, okay, I'm going to be 10 minutes here listening to this. Right. They may be talking about different things. Yeah. It's okay that I'm going to get everything. I'm just going to hear, because that's what I notice how kids learn. When they are in school, nobody's telling them, oh, this is present, this is past. No. Right. You go to the class, the teacher. And when I was teaching Spanish to American kids, I never switched to English.
Oh, wow. They were forced
because it was a two-way program. Yeah. So that's what I really understood, the power of immersion. Yeah. With adults, what we need to do is, we help you to manage the frustration, to manage the anxiety. And when we get to have the real, let's everyday connect a little bit more, and it's progressive, and you have to do repetition. I think that we tend to watch many things. What I notice that works the best is watch the same TV the same week. Because you need the repetition.
Okay.
So it's like your mom, when we were kids, our moms every day, hello, how are you? Would you like milk? Would you like milk? Would you like milk? Right. The 10th time you say milk.
That's
and then because there is an experience there in the immersion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Milk, liquid that I like.
Yeah.
And then the brain kind of checks in.
Okay.
With English or Spanish as a second language, it's not that like that because we're translating first. You hear something and the Spanish is trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But if we immerse saying, okay, let me see what I hear today, and I hear the same time, after you listen to that 3 times, 4 times, you get it.
You're going to get it.
And then in the immersion, we have created strategies so you can listen to a song, but then you listen to the song the same week, or watch TV, but then or watch a movie. So there, we as an adult, we can be strategic and say, okay, I'm going to listen to this, I'm going to watch this, and that's the immersion piece. And you always need to talk. I know we are panic about that, but if I can tell you, something is, it's okay. And what we do is we offer a space that you feel comfortable talking. Because when you feel comfortable, the confidence you build as you speak more, little by little,
you let the guard down.
You kind of it's like riding to bike. You don't learn to ride a bike by reading.
Right.
And say, until your dad was with you, put a little like wheel first. Or I'm a marathoner. The first time I did a marathon, I ran 5K, and little by little was getting, it's like anything in life. And the last component, which I think, even though there are 3 pillars, we kind of like work all of them together, is the mindset. People who are able to say, okay, every time just listen and try to talk as much as I can. And you get the mindset like a kid. The ones that are able to do that, they start picking up things faster. I had a doctor that worked with my sister, and she's in Venezuela. And she said, no, my sister is, okay, our team is growing. You guys need to know a little bit of English. And she's like, oh, I have tried everything. It doesn't work. My sister said, if you don't unlock your English with Leonela, you will never. Go with her. And I remember we started the 4th-week program, and she was panicked because from the whole group, she didn't understand. There were other people that speak. And I say, listen, I talked to her a little bit of Spanish and say, it's okay that you don't understand everything. You will get, as you get comfortable, just listen and try to talk. 2nd week, she was talking.
Wow.
It's because you have to follow. You are as a listener, as a speaker, as in charge of the communication, you are in charge of that. So those are the 3 pillars, and then we do it progressively because we also know that we have a life. So a lot of people say, oh, but I speak Spanish with my husband, I speak Spanish at home. You have to kind of like talk to yourself. What's, and we help you, it start coming naturally. One thing that really helped me, and you will have my friends, is that because I was teaching Spanish when I came here to Framingham, I realized that was like my 2nd year with English. And I still realized I was translating. It wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
And I say, I'm gonna lose my English if I speak Spanish because I have to speak with kids, and I'm very like, they say never switch to English, so I did it, and I talk to the kids all the time in Spanish.
Yeah.
I had roommates at that time, one Venezuelan and one Mexican, and they were students at MIT. We were all students and working here, and I said, I need you guys to be my language panas. That's another component of our methodology, is talk to someone that is willing to speak in English or in Spanish, whatever you are learning. And I say to them, you are my roommates, and if I don't speak with you every day, I'm gonna lose my English because I don't have that opportunity. They say, it's okay, we were roommates for a year. I imagine that they were Americans. We say gringo with all the love, say, imagine that you're, and that was the mindset. Anytime I saw them, I saw, he's an American.
Yep.
Just keep talking.
Yep.
At the beginning was difficult because I didn't have all the words, I didn't have the fluency. They were so great. I mean, so nice, so empathetic, so willing to help me, that then it became natural, and that's when you get the fluency. So we need to start thinking in my day. Okay, I say, well, maybe talk to your husband and to your kids, because now our kids, our grandchildren, they speak better English than us. Okay, let's do twice a week dinner in English or dinner in Spanish, because a lot of people also need the other language. We have to be creative to start creating those moments. But if you talking is what really is gonna unlock it's and yeah.
So we're coming to that time, and I want to ask you: is there something that we haven't covered that you would like to share with the audience?
What would it be? Yeah, I think we are so afraid to make mistakes. And we are so into, let me learn the grammar first. And that's what really took me, to say 2015, even after 20 years learning a second language, we still are focusing teaching adults with grammar. I'm not saying that we are not teaching grammar. Yes, we are teaching grammar, but think about, when did we learn grammar? When we were kids. When we were 1 year old, 2.
Yeah.
When we were first grade.
Right.
You start. So if you really want to connect with the language and then get that fluency, work yourself little by little. Start switching the mind. Let me try to listen to this person today, hear this song, and talk to someone. Find the opportunity to talk. Otherwise, you are really losing opportunities. I was never going to be an English teacher. I'm a passionate educator. I came here to learn about computers, to enhance the learning process of the students. And in the process, learning English was so challenging that I immediately used all my curiosity to say, how can I do it? And then became an English teacher by opportunities, because I just said, I need to stay longer, and I got a job as a Spanish teacher. Right. And then 10 years later, I came back to Boston with the idea, I think I can help more people. And now I'm creating a business and have a husband. So I'm learning a new chapter in my life about life, humans, So don't stop yourself to connect with a second language, even Spanish, because now, or any other language, now we are really global. We're really connected.
Yeah.
We have opportunities. That myth that we need to immerse, live in a country so we can get the second language. Now I have demonstrated with more than 70 people, professionals, that we have taught.
That's great.
That you can do it, and you don't even have to live in the country. It's more about your determination. Follow those 3 pillars, connect something what you like, immerse, transform your mindset so you can talk. And if you're ready to really get results, come to follow us, because I have this gift. When I connect with someone and they say, I really want to learn English, it's like it gets in the back of my computer and I'm dreaming with them already, because I see the opportunities. We cannot keep missing opportunities,
And are your classes in person or online, or a mixture?
My classes are mixed. At the beginning, I started during the pandemic, so everything started online. So we can get my whole curriculum was developed online.
Okay.
However, I see now the importance of
In person.
seeing each other in person,
right. Yeah.
And it's so precious, to talk to someone in person. Yeah. And something interesting, that I have a pool of American friends who are my native English language panels. And I was so excited that they wanted to learn more about Venezuela and all of us that are from different countries in Latin America. So the opportunity to expand our understanding of all the cultures. And even though we have AI, and I know that we can do more things to get that connection with the language, nothing will replace having a real conversation with someone. And that's one of our treasures of human beings that I want people to embrace.
This was wonderful.
Always.
Thank you for this one.
What are your 3 takeaways?
So my 3 takeaways are most definitely that stay focused on the desire to learn a second language and not be caught up with ego in the way of getting the learning done. Speaking it, I think that was a big one because I listen to you a lot. Like you speak in Spanish to me often. And I do hear, but I never speak. I never
do.
I think today was the longest sentence I ever said to you in Spanish.
You did.
So I'm hearing that, and I think that's going to change how we interact. I think immersing myself into a world in which I was offering some set number of weeks to actually take that to the next step is really interesting for me. And the idea to go from English to Spanish, not just for you, which is a primary relationship for us in our business and our personal, but also, with my other friends who speak Spanish. I think I think it's a lovely thing for me. I've been since you and I have gotten closer in this past year, I've been very aware of being intentional to understand you in everything that you say to me. I like that she straightened out the idea of it's not my full responsibility. You come to the table wanting me to hear you. I think more to be discussed on this.
And you forgot to say that every time I mention a cliche translated into English, she just laughs so hard. Like, for example, today, I said the finger is in the pudding. And she goes, no fingers in the pudding. No. It's the proof is in the pudding. Oh, okay.
Leave your finger out of the pudding.
Yes.
But then you bring me some real nuggets, right? Because you can dance to the rain only if it's raining.
Right. So, Leonela, this has been really, really fun. A ton of information. Where can people reach you if they want to learn more about your classes on English for Life?
I am in Instagram, English for L Network. We just launched our website.
Hey,
and
congratulations.
Connect English for Life, all lower cases. I want you to connect with the world of languages. So connect English for Life, all
It'll
lower.
Be right here.
Yeah. And I don't know if I can give you my phone number.
No. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create a slide with the credits and the contact, and I'm gonna put all that information there for people to find.
And in LinkedIn, I as a business owner, I keep learning. I launched my website. Now we'll be opening the LinkedIn business page too. Don't give up. Don't give yourself excuses.
Mm-hmm.
There was one thing that I wanted to say, that I became a CHO. Like ever you're a CEO. I am the CHO of my English journey. Do you know what CHO mean?
No.
Transform a challenge in an opportunity. I am the CHO of my life. It's any challenge I have transformed in an opportunity. Mm-hmm. I'm still do that. Become the CHO of your language program, the language experience. Yes. Don't give up. Don't leave it as a to do,
Yeah.
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 And don't leave it on the bucket list.
Yeah, don't leave it on your bucket list. You're missing a lot. And I'm very honored to be here. And I will start promoting the Duo podcast, because listening to a podcast is a tremendous resource to create that immersion. And when it comes from a conversation of two powerhouses, women like you, that know about the world, know about Massachusetts, you really want to bring a discussion to the table that we all can start looking things differently.
Yep.
Right.
You are the guys, you are the ladies, you are the ones to listen to.
Thank you it was really a pleasure. I really love every time we see each other. Thank you so much for coming on.
I enjoyed having you here, my friend. I am looking forward working on many opportunities together. Dulce, hello.
Yay.
You're next. Looking forward to that interview as well. So, folks, you heard it here. It's English for Life. We'll be posting the information on the podcast at the end of the video. And I want to leave you with my favorite quote, which is, let's continue to amplify diverse voices and foster meaningful dialogues. And with that, this is Maria. Thank you for listening.
And I'm Lisa. We're the Diversity Duo. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
That was lovely.
That was
You did great. Look at that. Now, whenever